My wife almost cheated on me. Does this count as infidelity? My wife of 36 and I of 35 moved to a new state for a job transfer and a lower cost of living. We were both excited and set out to create a new life, make new friends and create stability for our young children. The pandemic affected us and we became close friends with our neighbors. One couple divorced quickly. That couple lived next door. The neighbor's wife moved away, but couples went to his house all the time. He was an excellent cook and had good food in the backyard. One night me and this negbor, we will call him Jim, were smoking a cigar with one of his old military friends. They started exchanging stories of how they did it with married women on the base. I got uncomfortable and made an excuse to leave. This raised my suspicions. Jim and my wife would text from time to time, usually making plans for us all to hang out. My wife would also ask questions about Jim's love life. Whether it was right or wrong, I began to snoop. Couldn't find anything on her phone or emails. So I stopped. Over a year later my wife found religion and told me to stop hanging out with Jim. He didn't live a clean life. I agreed. She was right. Jim wasn't the best influence. My wife went on a trip with her high school friends, which I was happy to pay for. Our plans on making fiends didn't really work out. During her trip I found a diary entry in which she expressed her attraction to this guy, that she didn't care about potential fallout of making her move on him. The entry was dated back to when we all started hanging out. Still, I confronted her about this. Of all the signs, she said nothing happened. Then I found pictures of her cucumber on her phone, and a text she wrote, "My husband will be out of town next week, will you be around?" I confronted her again. She claimed it was over, and that she wasn't going to go through with it. Mind you, I was going out of town for a close family member's funeral. I started recording her while I was away. She confesses that she didn't cheat but was going to. She apologized and tried to make up for it, about a week of effort. Then she went back to barely putting out and her normal moody behavior. Is it cheating if she didn't actually cheat and only didn't go through with it because I confronted her 5 to 7 days before she is planning to? She told me to move on and that it was only virtual. She is cold every time I bring up the subject. I feel like I can move on but not that fast. Does almost cheating count? Sorry you're going through this. Break this down step by step. First, you're uncomfortable around this guy about what he said. I think he stated that to let you know it happened and was rubbing it in your face. Red flag. Second, you found her diary after she told you she found religion but it was dated back from the beginning. Second red flag. Third, you found text messages with his cucumber and also when they were going to meet. Third red flag. Fourth, now you have a dead bedroom basically and she is moody. Fourth red flag, I have a feeling that she is not telling you the truth and it already happened multiple times and you finally caught her. You might want to contact his ex-wife and find out why they got divorced and also let everyone, husbands, that goes to his house know what you found out. He might be doing the same things to their wives. Please keep us updated. It doesn't even matter if it really did, yet, or not. She wanted to. She planned to. She wrote about not even caring if she got caught. Presumably she wanted his D just that bad. He flirted and gladly received pictures of cucumbers. That is enough of a breach of trust. That is indeed cheating. Full stop. But I bet he's already had it done and is cheating on you. And if not him, it would be someone else. Bank on that. I'm sorry. Someone please explain trickle truth. I did enough snooping to see that she hasn't been physical, yet. Though I think now that she is caught up and I accused her of being physical, there is a high chance of her getting physical with him or some other guy. She hates him now. Of what he did after I caught and confronted him, called the cops and told them I threatened him. I'm African American and calling the cops is life-threatening. Don't want to go there but she hates him, but I got the feeling she's going to get physical with someone else. Don't want to go on a rant but I know her very well. Yes, this is cheating. Period. If you were sending pictures of cucumbers to someone else, and making plans to sleep with them, do you think she would consider it no harm, no foul? This was way out of line. I hate to say it, she cheated. The reason she did not want you hanging out with Jim anymore because she was fearful he would slip and let their secret out. If I was in your shoes, she would be taking a poly, Jim would be explaining the duck pics on her phone, and she would stop the neglect you are getting from her. If she cannot do this, then you really need to consider if this is a relationship you want to continue to be part of. Caught my wife cheating last week, still feel numb from everything honestly. Found out my wife was cheating with a guy from our gym because I had a weird gut instinct something was wrong and found their messages of flirting and talking about getting together. I confronted my wife and she somehow tried to turn it into me being the bad guy and made promises to block him and try to work on us, saying at most they only made out in his truck. Forward to 2 days later, I still feel paranoid that I didn't get the whole story. I snoop in her phone again. I find that not only did she lie to me and they had relationships, she was still talking to him while I was willing to actively work on our relationship for the past 2 days. I pretty much drew the line there and said I want a divorce no matter what. Now it seems she is trying to bribe me to forget this through tons of hot love. I just feel like I'm losing it, and it doesn't help that we have 2 kids and 6.5 years of marriage she threw down the drain for a 2-month fling. Sorry for the long rant, just needed to get this off my chest and maybe even gain some info from people that have gone through this and how the divorce process goes. It's called love bombing. They flood you with it and affection. Don't fall for it. Don't do it with her. Get checked for STDs and start looking for a lawyer. OP, I figured it was something like that. I'm calling around for lawyers tomorrow to get the ball rolling. My goal is to do this as peacefully as possible for the kids' sake, no matter how much I want to make this difficult for her out of spite. RP, keep quiet while you get the ball rolling. Find your attorney, consult and get everything in order without her knowledge. Do the 180 in Grey Rock. Also, communicate the situation and the truth to your parents and hers, close friends and family, so she can't spin the narrative in her favor with lies and deceit. She's already tried to make you the bad guy. Don't think she won't go to extremes to play the victim in all of this. You don't know this person, she's not the person you fell in love with. Then stop doing it and get a divorce. Either it's a deal breaker or it's not. She's betrayed you twice in unimaginable ways and your response is to do it because she offers to placate you. Come on, man. Reconciliation would be a reasonable thing if she had been honest initially and cut contact. She did neither. She doesn't respect you at this point. OP, I will admit that I medicated myself to deal with stress and distress and had a moment of weakness because of that. It is a deal breaker for me and plan on contacting lawyers tomorrow to get the ball rolling.